Hey guys, hey, it's Mr. Anderson here. Hey, I got a piece of clay. I wanted to kind of go over our pinch pot project. There's a few people at home. Oh, let me move the mouse. That might need a little direction here, and some people in class that might not have quite got my demo and need to watch it again. We'll see. Um, I'm going to start off this pinch pot. I usually just find a spot for my thumb to make a little dent. Oh, see it? Whoa, there it is. Dent, dent. All right. And then I really start kind of drilling a hole in by twisting the clay and pushing my thumb into the clay. All right. Now, I tried to do this with our document camera, but it was a little too much for the computer to have the document camera and this camera and everything else going. So I'm just turning this thing around and around and around and around and around and around. Oh, and drilling a hole in it. There you go. See it? Okay. Um, I told you guys, or told everybody in class, if you weren't there, I'll tell you now. I like to pinch this. I prefer to pinch it 1,000 times really light as opposed to 10 times really heavy. Okay? It tends to turn out nicer if you take your time. I was telling the kids today I gave them one piece of clay, and they could start building up either their pinch pot or whatever hollow form they want. And then you can get more clay tomorrow and add to it if you want to make a pinch pot creature. Okay? Or if you wanted to put a handle on it, make it into a mug or a bowl. It doesn't matter. Okay? But it has to be hollow. Okay? It has to be hollow because that will help eliminate air bubbles and moisture inside when we put it in the kiln. If there's any air bubbles or moisture, they will try to escape at 1880 degrees or what it gets to. And when they try to escape at that temperature, it breaks or explodes in the kiln. Okay, we're trying to prevent that. So that's why I want everybody to make theirs hollow. If you want to make it into a turtle, that's fine. If you have a way to make a hollow form into anything, a creature, anything you want, but it does need to be hollow. Okay. Now I'm going to keep spinning this around. Right now, I have a lot of thickness in this top half, and it's getting thinner in the bottom half. All right. For example, let's get a marker out. Let's see if this marker works. Right now, my pinch pot is thick and getting thin. Probably like that if I cut it and sliced it into a cross section. Okay? Like if I cut it. Now, right, my goal, you see this over here? Okay, my goal, oh, is my marker dying on it? Let me get another marker. Oh, there we go. My goal here is to make it all the same. Like that, if there's a cross section. That's my goal. So I start at the bottom and make that thin first, and then work my way up. Okay. I've had some people today that did this and kind of did the opposite, and the edges of it got real thin too fast and start cracking. So I want to keep the thickness up at the top until I get to it. Okay. So right now I'm feeling pretty good about the bottom. Not even the bottom half, probably the bottom third right now. It's feeling pretty close. And then as I'm turning it, I can feel it. I can feel if there's any variation in the thickness. I could, oh, there's a spot, and I thin it out a little bit more. Try and make it equal. So that's why I'm not going around it like 10 times. I'm going around it like 1,000 times. I'm pinching every piece of this little pinch pot. Okay? And I'm pinching it more than once. All right? Now, as I feel pretty good, you can even hear it. As I'm feeling pretty good about the bottom, I start working my way up. My fingers are curved. My thumb is what's inside the clay pot. Wish I could show it a different way. There we go. My thumb's inside, my hand's on the outside. So that shape is the shape that it's going into. Okay, if I change that shape, I could change the shape of the pot. But right now, it's kind of a curved around my thumb shape. All right. Now, I am working at about the right in this area. Okay, I'm pinching right in this area. And it's thicker up here still, but I'm moving it up. The clay, as I go around, it is moving up into my hand. All right, and it's getting real thick up here. Now, I go up here and pinch a little bit at the top and kind of get some size. This clay, the ball of clay is going to be so much bigger when it's hollow. It's going to be a pretty good sized bowl. All right, you can see it's getting large. Now, sometimes you'll get a little cracks depending how dry your clay is or how wet it is. If it ends up cracking and getting too dry, what I'll do is what we did with all of ours today at the end is I'll put some wet paper towel, I'll wring it out. I don't want it soaking wet paper towel, just soak it and wring it out. I'll put it around the pot because I don't want like standing water on it or anything. Okay, there's no standing water involved in this. This isn't a pottery wheel. All right, even though I'm kind of using it like a pottery wheel, going round and round and round. Right. Um, just wring out the paper towels and then put it in a piece of plastic, like a plastic bag. Wrap it up. You'll come back tomorrow, and this clay, the dry part, will be all wet again, and you can smooth it out, pinch it again. Um, but right now, with it in my hands and in the air, it's drying out. This clay dries. Okay. There will be a time when we want it to. I don't want it to right now, but there will be a time when we do. And this clay will dry out. And my hands are drying out. The clay is drying out. The air is helping. Anyway, you can see it's starting to turn into a bowl. Um, Up here at the top, I'm going to give it. I'm feeling like this isn't too bad. It's cracking just a little bit, but I'll show you. I'll smooth a little bit of that out before this video is done. Okay. Now, if I were to cut this in a cross section, it is pretty close to being a uniform thickness. Pretty close. And actually, I'll move my hands around and see as I'm pinching around, just feel if there's any thick spots. And I just keep spinning it and going around to do that. Now up top, I'm going to see some of these cracks. I'm going to go ahead and smooth some out as I'm going. Smooth this out. One thing that you won't be able to see here, I could put this on my desk, kind of flatten the top a little bit. Push that down and then go in and smooth it. Sometimes you don't want to push too hard down on your desk because the desk is non-porous. That means the clay will stick to it. Okay, so lightly put the clay on there and then keep smoothing these edges out. Now the bottom of this is round, right? Same thing on the bottom. If I take this pot and I turn it this way, upside, the up bowl side up, put it on my desk, I could lightly push it down and flatten the bottom of it. You guys see that? Flatten that? Let me flatten a little bit more. And I know you can't see it because the camera's not looking at it. See if I can do this. There you go. Check it out. I'm pushing it down on the desk. Turn it around a little bit. Push it down. Now the bottom's getting flatter. Do that to the top. Push it down a little bit. Let's check it out. Let's check it out now. All right. So the tops. Whoa, there we go. Top's pretty even. Do you see that? It's pretty even. I got a little, smoothing to do. There's a few cracks to smooth out. Again, I could do those now. If it's a little too dry, I could do it tomorrow after it's kind of sits in the plastic and wet paper towel. The bottom is getting pretty flat. I don't want my bowl rolling away. Hey, this time is not a horrible time to scratch my name on the bottom. I either do it now or maybe tomorrow. I don't want to wait too long. I don't want this to start drying out. It won't, I won't be able to scratch my name on the bottom as well. Um, so, hey, there's a big line in there. Let me smooth that out. Smooth that out. I saw a lot of people today getting water and smoothing out. You could do that. Typically, it makes, again, on the pottery wheel, we use the water a lot. But when we're doing pinch pots, sometimes the water can have an adverse effect. It can make it like into slip and then it starts to crack worse. Things like that happen. If I got this wet, there's a chance it could start cracking. Kind of like a mud puddle, the real thin mud puddle in the sun. It starts to crack. This is really just like mud. It's just like it. Here we go. There we go. Now, you can see this is, whoop, there we go. So, a few little cracks up here I could smooth out. I could smooth out this lip a little bit, right? Going around. I feel like it's looking like a pretty good pinch pot. Not too bad. Let's smash that down a little bit again. Even it out. Whoop. It's not bad, huh? Not too shabby. A little bit of thick. I see a little. Actually, the camera helps me. I can kind of take a look at it from afar in a way. Right here, I'm looking at it up close, but when I look at it on the camera, oh man, that's messed up. Let's fix that. Always trying to fix it. I'm always trying to make it better. A lot of people want to move on and get their next piece of clay. I'm like, hey, just work on it for a little while. No hurry. We'll have more clay tomorrow. Tomorrow I might add a handle to this, and it won't be a bowl, it'll be a mug. You know, could be. Could be a nice mug. Hey, so at this point though, oh, there's a thick spot. I'm gonna go around it once and just see how I'm doing. I don't want to pinch too hard here because we are getting to where the walls are thin. If I pinch too hard, it will start cracking. Okay, so be gentle. The thinner the walls get, and that's the same on the pottery wheel. The thinner it gets, the slower you want to go. All right, getting to the part where it's a little fragile here. All right, let's smooth that out a little bit. Now, real quick, let me get a pencil. I just use a regular pencil, and I not too sharp. This is a sharp pencil, but I'm gonna go ahead and scratch my name on the bottom of it, or my initials. I usually put my initials and then the year. Always like to know when I made it. Someday in the future, you'll be glad you put the year on it. Okay. Now you see the little pieces hanging off from me writing it. I'm gonna leave those there. Well, I'm gonna leave them there. If I try and brush them off right now, I'll probably smear right back in. But if I let them dry, those will break right off. Okay, and it won't smear and mess up my initials. And somebody in the future will know. Okay, so there, I got the MLA to 2021. Okay, now try it out. See how you do. Again, I'll probably wrap this up today, and then tomorrow I'll come back to it and give it some final touches. Maybe I'll decorate it. I could put some lines on it, some patterns, some texture. And then, like I told everybody in class, we will let these dry out when we're done. And when they are bone dry, I'll put them in the kiln for a bisque firing. Okay? After the bisque firing and they all make it out, nothing explodes or breaks, then we'll glaze them. And we'll put it in the kiln again for a glaze fire. It'll all come out all shiny. It'll be real nice. Okay? Anyway, so, oh, look at that. That's the great thing about clay. You can, every time I turn it, it just keeps changing its shape. There we go. That's pretty close. Now, I was going to say it's pretty close to circular. It is close. It's not perfect, though. So you guys enjoy. If you guys are at home, you got some clay, try it out. If you got it at home and you're done, you're gonna decorate whatever you're gonna do, and you want to bring it back in when you come back to school. Bring it in. I will put it in the kiln for you. Okay, when you get back. So I guess if you guys um, have got that, I have to say goodbye. So don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that little bell. See ya.